vacuum seal bags or shrink bags? Which one do we prefer? Hi everybody, welcome to Living Traditions Homestead. This is Sarah and Kevin, and today we wanted to talk with you about why we prefer to use shrink bags versus vacuum sealed bags.
So when we first started processing our own chickens and rabbits, we did actually use the vacuum seal bags. We have a pretty nice food saver vacuum sealer. We bought the rolls of the bags. And we used those, I think, only one time, the very first time we ever processed chickens, because in all honesty, we just couldn't get them to seal. We tried 50 times because that's how many chickens we do at a time. Yeah. And I think less than half of them actually sealed good enough that we felt like they were going to be protected in the freezer. Yeah,
oh my gosh, you guys, it was a complete nightmare. I had a friend there with me too that was helping, and there was just so much moisture from the chicken. We initially tried them with chickens, that even on those moisture settings, or moist settings that they have on the sealers, you know, there was just so much moisture at the end that the sealer just wouldn't work. And you know, it pulls the liquid out and puts it in like a little cup thing, and it seemed like every 2 chickens I had to undo the contraption and take the little thing and dump it out and put it back in there. And it was really so much trouble. It was very frustrating. And those that didn't seal very well ended up getting freezer burned after we had frozen them.
Right. So that's when we looked for an alternative, and we found the shrink bags, and we found a company that we order them from. It's been very good for us. We order them from a company called TexasPoultryShrinkBags.com, and we've always ordered from them. We haven't tried any others, but I can tell you we've had such good luck, we haven't felt that there was a need to ever look elsewhere. And now they're actually printing labels for the freezer as well, so we order our labels from them as well, with our name and everything on, just because we like to know the weight and everything of all of the chickens when we have them in the freezer.
Right, and the date. You can write the date on there.
Right.
And that's important. One thing that's really nice about the Texas shrink bags is there's a variety of sizes. There's kind of a standard size that's 10 inches by 16 inches, and that is good for, you know, kind of a small to medium sized chicken. It's also the perfect size for a rabbit, but they also have a size above that for if you're growing extra large chickens, or if you are raising small turkeys.
Right. I think they have even some bigger sizes specifically for turkeys, although to be honest, we've never ordered those.
Well, it's been a while since we've raised turkeys.
Right.
Hopefully this year.
We might be doing it this year. So
I miss them.
But we thought we'd show you guys just an overview of how the shrink bags work. I know we did a video once before on using them for rabbits, so I thought we'd show you today how we use them for the chickens.
Right.
So we're going to head over to our workstation. We processed half of our chickens yesterday, so we did 24 chickens yesterday, and we're going to get those bagged up today. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you some of the equipment that we use when we bag our chickens before we actually start doing it. So the first thing that we use is we use an old turkey fryer. It's a propane setup so that we can have a pot of hot water here. You want to have your water at about 190 to 195 degrees. We found that works the best. So we have that here. I have a thermometer in here to know that we are at the right temperature, and we already have ours heated up to that temperature. So let's go over here and I'll show you the rest. You want to make sure you have a good pair of gloves that will protect your hands from the hot water, because you do have to dunk the chickens in the hot water, so have something that's going to protect your hands. Then we have a scale. You don't have to have, you know, a professional scale when you're just doing them for yourselves. We occasionally sell chicken meat at the farmer's market. We decided not to this year, but we still have a certified scale, certified by the state. So, and then these are the shrink bags that we use. I'll open these up and show you what comes with them. And depending on how many you order, they usually range about 40 to 50 cents a piece. You know, like most things, the more you order, the more you know, the better deal you get. So when you get them, you're going to have the bags. You're going to have one of these little straws, which you'll see later how that works. And then also included in each package is a package of zip ties. So I'll show you in a little bit how all that works or how that all fits together. And we just use folding tables because they're plastic and we can clean them good at the end. And oh, here's the labels that we ordered. You can see they have our farm name and everything like that on there. And then this is a thing that I made out of PVC. And this actually holds our chickens so they can drip dry a little bit while we put the bags on. And I'll show you how that works also once we bring the chickens out. So I think we're all set. We'll get started and we'll show you how we do this. So when we take the chickens out of the chill tank, we just put them right on here. So that way they can drip dry just for, you know, only about 30 seconds to a minute, however long it takes us to get the bags out. Now we start putting the bags over, but this makes it much easier to bag the chickens. Alright, so once we have our bags ready, all we do is fold the neck off to the side. And then the bag just goes down and we just leave them like this, one at a time until we're ready. But as soon as you get the bags on, then, you know, flies and things like that won't mess around with your chickens. So now these chickens we processed yesterday, and they've been in our chill tank of ice water for about 24 hours. Perfect, just like that. Now we will get ready to put them in the hot water and shrink them. Alright, so once they are bagged, then you take them off. This is where that straw comes in. You put the straw down inside the body of the chicken. Spin the bag. Put your zip tie on, just like that, and now you're ready to take this over to the hot water, dunk it in, and it will shrink right to the chicken. Let's go over to the hot water. Alright, so got the chicken. We're going to dunk it in the hot water for about 5 seconds, maybe just a little bit more, and you should hear the air coming out of the bag as it shrinks around the chicken. Look at that, nice and tight. It's going to make a nice seal, and now we just need to remove the straw, tighten the zip tie, and it'll be all set for the freezer. Alright, so again, all we have to do at this point is pull the straw. I use the needle nose pliers, pull the zip tie tight, and then cut it off close to the bag, and there you go, perfectly shrink wrapped chicken. At this point now we'll just dry it off, put the label on, weigh it, it'll be ready for the freezer. Let's go ahead and do another one. Alright, so again, once it's bagged, just flip it up. We're going to put the straw down inside. And you want to make sure the straw is not touching any part of the body, because you want it to be able to suck that air out when it gets in the hot water. Twirl it around. Now typically, Sarah and I do this together. She does the zip ties, and it's easier with two people, but she's running the camera today, so I'm doing this for you by myself. There we go, we got the zip tie on. Go get our gloves on, and we'll go over to the hot water. Alright, so down into the hot water for about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. You can see how nice and tight that got on the chicken. And now we'll go over to the table and we'll remove the straw and cut the zip tie off. Now typically when Sarah and I are doing these together, she'll be pulling on the zip tie as soon as I pull the straw out, so it pulls nice and tight right when I remove the straw. and that way no air can get back inside. But we'll just do it this way, which will be fine. And then we just cut the zip tie off like this. And look at that, beautifully packaged. When we sell chickens at our farmers market or to like neighbors and customers and things, the one thing that they always mention is how professionally packaged they look. I'm not sure what they're expecting, but they always mention that it looks so professionally packaged between the shrink bags, the labels. I mean, it really is just, you know, it really makes a nice package, complete package. And it makes your farm look that much more professional.
So after we're finished shrink bagging the chickens, then we go ahead and weigh it and label it. I have this nice chicken here, and put it on our scale. This is a certified scale, and looks like it's 5.48 pounds. That's pretty awesome. This label here, there's a place for you to put the weight and the date. And on our labels, we have a spot to check whether it's a chicken, turkey, rabbit, or something else. And then if we were selling it, we would calculate the total price and put that there for the customer. So it's important with when you're labeling these that you make sure that the plastic is nice and dry before you put the label on. These labels are good for the freezer too. They'll stay on while it's frozen. And put that on there, and look at how beautiful that looks, nice and professional. For your customer, they'll surely be impressed with that. And even for home use, it's nice to know the date that they were processed and frozen and the weight of it. Sometimes I want a really big chicken to put in the oven, and sometimes I just want a small chicken. So it makes it very nice. Now after this, we're putting these directly into the freezer because they've already rested for 24 hours. When you're freezing meat, you should only put them one single layer in the freezer. Don't stack them all up on top of each other. Just one single layer so that they have the best chance to freeze as quickly as possible. If they're all in one pile, then those in the middle take too long to freeze, and you can actually create an unhealthy environment, and that may grow bacteria. So it's very important for these to get in the freezer as soon as possible and only in one single layer.
So those are the bags that we use. We think they do a much better job than the vacuum seal bags. I'll leave a link to the place that we get them below. You know, I just really think that they do a great job. And they hold up really well in the freezer over time.
Absolutely.
We try to raise almost a year's supply of meat at a time, so you know they need to be able to hold up. So you guys, if this is your first time here, this would be a great time to hit the subscribe button below. If you're one of our traditionalists who comes every day, thanks so much. And until next time, thanks for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.